And welcome back to this week's episode of Power Rangers in Space. This is the Ranger Sisters Rewatch Podcast. This one's very special. Yep, the last two, part one, part two. I'm Bree.
And I'm Jess.
And we're going to be talking about these two. This is the series finale of In Space. Next week, or the next couple weeks, we're going to do fanfic pod. We're going to do two fanfic episodes, and then we'll start Lost Galaxy the week after that.
Yeah, so get ready, people.
Oh, yeah.
Or whoever's watching. I don't know. Does anyone watch it?
Yeah.
Like.
I know all my classes listening. They listen to it.
Hi, Bree's class.
So, part 1, Countdown to Destruction, episode 42. This episode, if you've seen Megaforce, when they had the invasion at the end, this reminds me of this one so much.
You might as well say it's inspired by it.
Yeah, I'm going to say that now, yeah.
So, do you want to go first with your notes, or should I go with mine?
You go with yours.
Okay, so this is the end of Era of Zordon, apparently. Which, well, that's what Astronomer says, and I'm like, yeah, very foreboding right there. And then you see when the invasion happens, it's all over the galaxy, which is crazy and kind of genius, and makes you really excited for the next series for Lost Galaxy, because it's like, you want more space now because of that. Yeah. But you see Zeo Gold, which I'm like, okay, has he not come, like where was he the last couple of episodes? Like Adam came back, and then you see the Phantom Ranger on one of those, and then at first I thought it was Ninja Storm that the other Rangers were, but then I'm like, oh wait, Ninja Storm was in a way years later. So then it's like, okay, maybe it's the Alien Rangers, aka I'm probably the most forgettable Ranger just because I didn't realize or know.
Yeah, because Ninja Storm was 2003, if I remember correctly.
I guess it inspired the primary colors because I was like, red, yellow, light blue. Okay, I've never watched Ninja Storm, but even I know that those are those colors. But then it's like, no, wait. You look up closer and you're like, oh, yeah. And so then while the invasion's happening, there's these giant CGI battle droid ships, which are very creepy, just walking around like little spiders and all that. And Zane tries to outrun some ships in space, and he's hanging on the edge of his hoverboard in space. And he looks like he's like, in trouble. And I'm like, what happened to zero gravity? Like, shouldn't you be floating back up a little? Just a little.
It's probably like some sort of energy field around the boards to keep them on.
Yeah. That's what I figured afterwards, because I'm like, okay, dude, just let go. You can float a little.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of ships that come to Earth, which I'm like, all these guys invading Earth in the future for Ranger series, I can see why.
Yeah.
But I don't remember any of those series being as impactful and really trouble as this kind of thing. This series kind of, you're really afraid for Earth because you're like, oh. But though the Velociraptors for a ship name is actually a really cool name. I like that.
Yeah, so I really liked it too, believe it or not.
And this movie, it reminded me of the Avengers movie. So I'm like, Space did the Avengers movie before the Avengers movie.
Holy shit, you're right.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, maybe there's some inspiration there. And also, like, if this happened in the future, like, years later, there would not be as much tension because there would be so many Ranger teams everywhere, at least on Earth, to kick butt,
Yeah.
Which, man, that would have been cool.
Definitely.
I mean, it's sort of Megaforce sort of did that, but sort of not. Yeah. So then all these buildings are being blown up, which you're like, okay, yeah, that's going to happen. But people are surely in those buildings now. Like there's got to be somebody in there. And then you're like, where are the cops? The firefighters? The EMTs? Maybe EMTs would have actually been a good like, preview of Lightspeed, like, and the firefighters, like, if you had, I guess they were just, like, figuring out, they were not sure if they were going to get future seasons, but it would have been kind of awesome if the Lightspeed Rangers were in that episode just in the background.
Yeah, that would have been wild. Because that show came 2 years later. That series came 2 years later. And I'm like, thinking about certain things, I'm like, yeah, why was there no what was the fatality count?
Yeah, and where's the military, the cops, the firefighters?
Where's the National Guard?
Yeah, even the Avengers, they had policemen everywhere. Where are you guys? But no.
Exactly.
And you know what a good time this would have been? For a good time to bring back Justin and Adam and the other Turbo Rangers. Because, let's face it, college versus the end of the world. Surely they would have been like, okay, let's get a fast trip to Angel Grove.
Or unless
nearby.
Unless they were fighting them, like they saw them on campus and they took care of business, wherever they were.
But we would not know that because there was no mention. There was not even saying, like, hey, do you guys think we should call Justin and see if everyone's doing okay or something?
They probably did. They probably like behind the scenes, like stuff that they didn't record or show, like what could have been. Oh yeah, them calling and checking in on their friends and family members,
Yeah. And then Andros and Ashley, they get double the combo attack from Ecliptor and Dacondo. And now they finally demorph after what seems like episodes. Like, finally some damage gets, like, realistic.
Yeah.
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 But then the Mega Winger Zord goes down. It's like, well, there goes all their Zords. Want to call the former Turbo Rangers? Maybe they have some Zords ready and available. But no. But then Dorkondo decides, you know what? I'm going to go destroy Dark Spectre in this tiny, tiny spaceship. It's Godzilla-sized Dark Spectre, which, yeah, that was creepy as hell.
Yeah, but it was smart.
But then it works for some reason.
Yeah.
But then he gets eaten by Dark Spectre right as soon as that happens. So I'm like, hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the fact that Dark Spectre was destroyed and not by the Rangers, I think that was a pretty cool plot twist. Because he was the main big giant villain beside Astronema, and you're like, so Dark Spectre really wasn't the problem, it seems like.
No.
And then when Astronema comes to Earth and all the bad guys are bowing, and I'm like, hey, people, even with not any skills in fighting, you could kick some of these guys in the back, surprise attack while they're bowing down and distracted. But no.
And then we go into part 2 after you see them completely get their asses kicked.
Yeah, but before that, you think with Dark Spectre destroyed, Astronema would be Corona again, and it's like, yeah.
No, definitely not.
Like, I think they might have brain damage. There might be some brain damage in that because of that gear and all that. Because clearly, one shock does not do it.
No,
but
definitely
it would be cool
not.
Just to have double cross at that point, but that doesn't happen. FYI.
Yeah.
So now we go to part 2, and all the Rangers are camping out in this destroyed rubble area with a fire pit, and
just like it was in the Super Mega Force episode at the very end with all the Rangers.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yep, they're all dirt. Well, except for Zane. I don't think he was not there. Like, thanks, man. But Andros decides, you know what? I'm going to be the red, reckless, stubborn ranger again, and I'm going to go to the Dark Fortress, snap Corona out of her brainwashing alone. And I'm like,
rookie move, buddy. Don't.
Yeah, and also,
have you not learned anything? Like, literally, my note was, has he not learned anything from the first episode? You don't go solo into the bad guys at headquarters. Hello.
And then I'm like, oh my god, Winter Soldier before the Winter Soldier movie. This guy's Captain America, literally.
Okay, you're not wrong.
Yeah, and then Bucky's Corona, so I'm like, yeah, okay, the brother versus brother versus sister Yeah, that's definitely a Winter Soldier right there.
Definitely.
Only without the, showing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then when Andros gets stopped by Ashley, as much as it sickens me, and believe me, it was gross, I thought they were getting kissed.
Same. I did too.
Damn, like, thank goodness, but also, that would have been good view-wise, just for other people. Other people.
Yeah. But you know what? That's why the fanfics exist. What might have been, what could have been.
Ugh. Yeah.
But at this one, I think I'm trying to, because I know I didn't write this down. I'm like, is this the one where they destroy Zordon, or was it the episode prior?
No, it's in part 2. Part 1's all the, build up, and you see Zordon, which, honestly, I thought he was going to be, like, a little bit more, the movement seemed a little choppy to me a little, because, I don't know, I saw clips of Mighty Morphin, and his head was, like, moving, his mouth was moving, he was more expressive, but that was just me.
Yeah. Because I actually have notes on that scene when Andros has to take his...
Oh, yeah.
I've got whole notes on that section. I do.
Well, let's get back to the other awesome part, the crowd. When the crowd decides to call themselves the Power Rangers, holy crap, is that cool.
That's unity. That's unity.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, I don't know if it was Mystic Force or SPD where that also happens, but...
Mystic Force. It was Mystic Force at the very end, the last episode.
And then the Rangers, they appear on a little building, and they morph, and Bulk's like, them? I'm like, dude, anything? Look, you can say anything about the other Rangers, but TJ literally looks like the Ranger deal. He's muscular, he's strong, he looks like he could kick butt even without
eye candy. I called him the eye candy.
So I'm like, dude, at least, surely you would have been suspicious of TJ at least. You'd be like, okay, that's legit, at least for him.
Yeah.
I don't know about the other people.
Yeah.
But then the Rangers do their classic thing where they go and flip onto the battlefield, because no Ranger fight can be without some gymnastics to enter the fight in.
Yeah. The tuck and roll.
Yeah,
the tuck and roll.
Fights, and I'm like, about time, you guys could have done this ages ago without the Rangers. Like, just take a iron, what are those called? Iron pipe or whatever, and smack those monsters with it. I mean,
it's a morale thing, honey. Once they saw that the Rangers were there with them and fighting, they felt that, like, it's finally time to take the fight to the bad guy.
Yeah, I feel like someone would have been at least brave and stupid to try beforehand, but apparently not. So then the cops, where are you guys? Like, it would have been kind of weird, sure, I guess, in a moment, but it would have been interesting.
Yeah.
But then, now Andros on the ship, and he sees Zordon, and he apparently knows him, and now I'm wondering, how does he know Zordon? Because we knew the Rangers knew Zordon, because he was on Earth. So how did Andros, a guy from space, know Zordon? I mean, I'm guessing Zordon was famous.
Or was a mentor to Andros. In fact, think about it. He was already a Ranger when they met him.
True.
What could have been, what might have been. And he had an Alpha. Think about it, they had Alpha on board.
Jeez, Zordon has a lot of skeletons in the closet that he really should have explained beforehand, huh?
We gotta write it. We gotta get it in the books.
Yeah, so then Zordon, he talks without moving much, and he seems like frozen. I'm like, okay.
It's the editing and how the time of day. Because remember, back in the day, he was more in a dark setting. He's in a daytime setting, so the settings and everything they would have had to edit it definitely were different. It's all about the elemental changes. Learned that one from watching Corridor Crew. Shout out to the goats.
It just felt so weird. I guess we can't really say much considering we've seen future Ranger series and, their editing and everything is good at times. So it's a little off-putting.
Yeah.
But, shows how far we've come.
Yeah.
So then Zordon's like, destroy my tube. The good energy from my tube will destroy the evil energy. And I'm like, okay.
Self-sacrifice.
make it much sense to anything else in the series. I don't know how that happened, and I don't know why that hasn't been, you know, why didn't you guys do that when the Turbo enemies were destroyed and everything?
And Andros was hesitating to do it. What if
very much.
What if they were related to Zordon?
True, and
that's the only thing that tracks and makes sense. What if he's a member of Andros' family?
True, and Andros, his sad acting and everything, I'm like, now this is what you guys should have had, like when Zane was, you know, frozen, destroyed, all that stuff. Because his acting was like very not that good when it came to sad, like no, that sort of thing. But here, you could feel it.
Yeah, you definitely could.
And then Andros destroys the two, and no Zord anymore. Too.
All the bad guys up to date are wiped. All their darkness is wiped away. Holy freaking guacamole.
Well, actually.
Well, you know what I mean.
I forgot to mention, Andros tries to go for the two, but then Astrona stops him. And then those two fight, which I feel like was the best choreography fight in the entire series.
Yeah, I think that they were definitely saving it for the right time and for the right reason.
Yep, and then Zordon does get destroyed for real. Then every bad guy turns to stand again. Avengers, as well as I believe Pokemon the first movie or something. And like, well, I mean, except for Rita and Zed, and the sister, which I'm like, okay, sister, I get, but Rita and Zed, okay. I mean, Rita, she's human, I figured, but Zed?
I know. I was like, certain fact, it was the people that made those. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I figured that much afterwards, but it just didn't make sense plot-wise. But seeing that Ecliptor died, because, you know, if it hadn't been for brainwashing, he would have been, you know, he would have been a good guy again.
Yeah.
So it was kind of sad and kind of heartwarming that even brainwashed, he still cared for Corone as a daughter.
Yeah.
Which that makes it even worse, man.
Yeah,
like,
it makes it,
yeah. All the time for Ecliptor to die.
Yeah. But then seeing all the, like, seeing Divatox and all the other, like, seeing the evil wiped away from them, I was like, this is something. I think this is because of what they had planned. They had no choice.
True.
Because as we saw with Lost Galaxy, there's no, this thing's like an alternate Earth or something. And
yeah, let's not get too into that yet.
Well, it's helping me make my point.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Literally, we see them, a whole new generation. It looks like it could be 5-10 years later. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
and the Turbo Ranger villain is, I don't know, I mean, I felt like, okay, a dress, that's something, and then she's, like, laughing all, like a hyena, and, like, okay, you know what, maybe she should, you know, go, like, take a nap or something, like, like, tone it down a little, because you're not helping your cause if you're good again.
Because you remember the crossover in the next upcoming series? Think about how much older they look. It looks like it was like 10 years, honey.
Because they aged like that back then.
But, you know, it's a case in point. We'll talk about it when we get to that episode.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have notes.
Zordon destroyed. Now the Space Ranger suits are gone. Their powers. I'm like, not another team without powers in the end. Like, can every one or more teams that keep their powers in the end?
I think they did. I think they did, but because there was so much energy, you know, energy versus energy, it kind of wiped it out in a way.
I hope so, because I was so upset. I was so pissed off at that. I'm like, come on, guys.
They probably still do have their powers. You just needed like a 24 to 72 hour recharge.
True. And then Corona's back, yay.
Yeah.
And that means her hairstyle's normal again, yay.
And she's beautiful. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, yay. And now you're like, okay, you know, Andros, Corona, if you stay on Earth, you guys could be models and get big money.
Yeah.
But no. Then Andros is gonna go leave. I mean, no, wait. They go back to Kill 45, all of them. Andros, Zane, and Corona decide, as I quotation marks, to stay on KO35, Andros and Ashley go holding hands, which I'm like, they could have kissed off screen at this point.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, oh my God. Puke. God.
Yeah. And first of all, hold on. Let's talk about her manicure. She's got a full-on French set.
I mean, to be fair, it might have been hours later after the invasion, so they could have taken a shower or something.
But to have the nails look that good?
Ugh.
Think about it. Think about
jeez.
it. Yeah, I want you to look at it later on. I want you to rewatch that part because her nails are.
I can't rewatch it. It's too awful.
It's called skipping ahead if you have to, but those nails are so long. I'm like, how? Because you think about it with her Ranger gloves, you saw that she didn't have no nails, no nothing that would have poked through.
Guess she decided to put fake nails on just because. Why not?
Yeah. Press-ons. But here's the thing. Press-ons weren't really a thing in the late 90s. It was all either painted on or,
Yeah, and then all three, they decided to go back with the Ranger turf. All just like that.
And especially because Ashley looked heartbroken.
Yeah.
And then Andros shows up saying that he's like, Alpha set a course for Earth. Ashley, her face brightens up like it's Christmas, runs into his arms. I kind of have to admit it was kind of corny, but it was kind of cute. Hey, that episode inspired several of my in-space fan fictions. Don't judge.
Okay, so then they all leave, and it's like, that's the end. Title screen.
Yeah.
Okay, what happens to the Rangers afterwards? I mean, I know Corone come back in Lost Galaxy, but no one knew at that time.
No.
But, what about the other Rangers? College, the workforce. It would have been awesome. Maybe they came back as, mentors to Lightspeed or something.
That would have been cool. But, I mean, who knows? Who knows what might have been?
And also, was anyone going to tell Corone that her adopted father figure is just gone? I mean, I'm guessing she knew eventually, but she, had a feeling, but...
Andros, yeah. I think Andros had to break the news.
Scene, honestly.
Yeah.
That would have been a heartbreaking, cool scene to see. And speaking of, where the heck are Corone and Andros' parents? They never complete that storyline.
No. Honestly, I think that something happened to those parents. And if they had shown the parents, think about it. It would have been fans rioting because the parents are definitely pieces of shit. Because they should have been watching their children. Because if they had been, none of this would have happened. Corone and Andros would have lived happily. I think everything happens for a reason. And let me tell you something. This sets up, I think, one of the greatest seasons of the 90s.
The next one.
Yeah. Because we had...
If you think that this crazy series was anything, just wait till the next series.
And the series after that. And the series after that. Because the team-ups we got after the fact, until 2006 or 7... we hadn't seen anything of it. We haven't seen anything of the like. And all of a sudden we see this.
Yeah, and then here's a hint. Think of Dragon Ball Z in the Dragon Balls. That's literally the end when it comes to a certain part of Power Rangers.
Okay, la, no spoilers. We don't need...
Oh, now spoilers.
Spoilers, darling, spoilers.
Yeah, so that's about it for my notes on space. What do you think of overall the series?
I have to say, because this was from the year I was born, and I basically grew up rewatching it, and I'm like, it had its cringy moments, yes. And seeing these relationships with each other, how they became a family in their own way, it made my heart swell with love. Because I'm like, if this isn't a family, I don't know what is. They celebrated the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. They celebrated the holidays together. Who knows what else they could have done?
Maybe they'll go to therapy together.
God, you would, yeah, that they would be sent off to the freaking mental ward. Not even gonna bullshit.
But for me, the series, it was honestly kind of an amazing series for us. As bad as the technology was for CGI and everything, that was corny, sure, but overall dialogue and story, it was pretty well done overall.
Yeah.
I mean, I still hated Ashley and her character with Andros to a T, no matter what. But other than that plot line, everything else seemed alright.
I mean, honestly, they had one of the more unique outfits of the series. Because if you notice it, like, I'm looking at the poster of it right now. It's got the 5 Ranger colors across the suits, across all 5 of the suits. And I think that's a special little touch that I really do enjoy.
Yeah. Let's talk about what the series should have done. Like, what was the bad? Aside from the CGI, that should have been better. But we know that was back in the day. I'm talking about, like, more storyline stuff. Ashley should have not had a crush on Andros, like, the entire series. Like, they did the first episode, but then she became just friends with him because, let's face it, romance and Rangers, we already had that with Mighty Morphin. We were fine with that.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you want to put a spotlight on romance, you should have had more content with TJ and Cassidy. They already had a connection.
But hold on. Who? When you remember earlier on in the season, when they went to go find the Shadow Ranger, who did Cassie have a crush on?
The Phantom Ranger, yes, but
she had a crush on the Phantom Ranger. What if?
It would have been a good moment for TJ to be jealous. I mean, but then again, we never saw his face. We don't even know how old the guy was.
I think he was definitely their age, but you know her heart belonged to him in some aspect. Because
then again, we never saw his face. We never see him again after that. Like, she never sees him again.
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
Hashtag fanfic idea.
That's the one I can go for. No,
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Aside from that storyline, I feel like they could have built up on a lot of other things. Maybe more callbacks to the Turbo series. They could have had Justin come in more times. I mean, I guess the child actor thing might have been a problem overall.
I said this once before, and I'll say it again. Justin's dead. Come on, man. Who knows? Because think about it. You could have one weekend of good, but then all of a sudden you're back to work. I'm willing to bet Justin had a lonely childhood. A very lonely childhood.
I'm surprised the dad didn't remarry, or, did they not have any other family, aunts, uncles that could have came and lived with them, or something, or, it makes you question about Justin and his family's dynamics beyond his father.
Yeah.
And see, that's what's something about Rangers, even in the future, they pass on talking about their family and their backstories not that much often. It's like maybe like a mention here and there. Like, they didn't, from Samurai, his dad dies, his sister is separated. Where's his mom? What happened? What was his childlike life besides Antonio coming over? I mean, yes, we saw glimpses, but come on.
Yeah.
And what about Lauren? What was her childhood like? Could we not seen a flashback of little Lauren then?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of opinions on that, and when we get to that season, girl, I'm gonna say my piece on that one.
I mean, you saw the actor that played the little Jaden. I want to see a little Lauren. I bet she would have been just as adorable.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, they did show her briefly, like when they had to part ways as children. But let me tell you something: separating them was a logical sense, but relationship-wise, it was a bad idea. It was a very bad idea.
If they both have samurai rangers, why not just teach them to call one another on there? That's technology hacking skills.
Yeah. I mean, literally, they could have learned the sealing symbol together and done it together.
That would have been cool. Like, you wouldn't, instead of one ranger, you need both. You need 2 rangers to make the symbol power.
Or I should have said the whole team.
Or the whole team, yeah.
The whole team. It would have made a lot more sense on that one.
Yeah,
but
that was able to do it because of Red Ranger stubbornness and the power of plot.
yeah.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
that's for another time.
That's for another time. That's for another season.
Back to space. Yeah.
Not in space, yeah.
Needing more backstory on the Rangers, especially Andros and Zane and Chrome.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe they could have done more with the Phantom Rangers. They could have at least maybe like they really should have made a super space mode, not just for Andros with that plastic thing, but actually put the Phantom Rangers look as the Space Rangers' new power up.
That would have been cool. That would have been a good look.
And it would have been funny because Zane could have or Carlos could have been like, "Look at us, we got our dead enemy skin as a power up."
That would have been interesting, very interesting. But yeah, I mean, I definitely would have loved to have seen more past Rangers. But you know what? As I said before, and I keep saying it, everything happens for a reason. And honestly, I think it was a good thing that, you know, they had the time together. Because when they were in Angel Grove and they weren't doing Ranger business, that's the part we don't know.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I mean, we saw what happened, like, after the ending of Turbo and going into space. Like, that was a pretty good transition, yes. But at the same time, I guess there's questions enough on that, just on logic-wise.
Yeah.
And now, space-wise, honestly, if I was back then, if I lived back then and I was watching this and all of a sudden Lost Galaxy shows up, I would have been like, okay, so the people of Earth, they saw a spaceship, they saw all this space stuff. Maybe they used that experience to upgrade their technology, get the help from KO-35.
Yeah.
And make an Earth sort of base that becomes the Lost Galaxy Earth, which is better protected against monsters.
Exactly, and it's like, and they talked about it in like future episodes that Lost Galaxy was in its own little time and space. But when you got to that crossover episode, all of a sudden they're all on the one Earth. You know what I mean? So it's like
let's not forget about Forever Red. Like,
that's an episode. That's a whole episode by itself.
Yeah, and a whole other series, but
yeah.
Overall, I give Space an 8 out of 10 at most.
I like that idea.
For the other 2 points.
Yeah. And like they all had like Carlos and Ashley had like a brother-sister relationship. You know?
I feel like that was the case, but I also felt like that was the case for Andros and Ashley also. Like, if they didn't really stack on and Ashley had a crush on him, I feel like they would have been seen as a sibling duo.
Actually, that would have been cool. I'm making fanfic points for that one. I'm gonna write down plot points for that.
Yeah, I mean, did I ship her with Zane? No. Did I ship her with Andros? Absolutely not.
I kind of did, but it's like, you know, she could have wound up with a former Ranger, and I would have been fine with that.
True. Honestly, I figured if anything, it would not have been Andros. That would have been the final endgame, which I'm still going to say that it's not the final endgame, despite what people would say. Yes. But, you know, overall, the series does well with characters, and the villain was awesome. I'm not the X-Factor. He was, like, forgettable. Astronema was the villain. Like, it makes you really judge the future villain of the Power Rangers series after seeing her. You know?
Yeah. She definitely made something interesting and good, because it always left you like, when they would try to work with her and all of a sudden she'd stab them in the back. And I'm like, yeah, we saw that coming, but at the same time, it's like it's self-preservation. You know?
Like, it's like, especially the Phantom Rangers, like,
yeah, exactly.
I keep on saying that every time she backstabs somebody that was like a bad guy, like Derek Honda.
Yeah.
Oh my god, every time I was just laughing so much whenever he got his butt kicked.
Yeah. The Psycho Rangers, let's talk about this one.
Oh boy.
That whole storyline and plot made sense. Yeah, it made sense, but there's a lot more they could have done. Or what they could have taken away, or what they could have added to make it better. Like,
I mean, they could have explained their powers more. I mean, why does Dark Spectre have the power to transform into a human? If they get their powers from Dark Spectre,
yeah.
how are they able to transform to like a human look?
Yeah.
You know?
That was just getting ready to highlight on that. These human looks they had made no sense.
I mean, especially look-wise for some, because some need to like go back to the drawing board on that.
Yeah, because it just felt wrong. Felt wrong, looked wrong. That one should have never left the writer's room. Never should have made it out. Never should have made it onto the script.
What should not have left the room was definitely their true forms. Those were creepy and ugly as hell.
Yeah.
Like, they should have kept their human forms at that point if they were going to go anything.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But, you know, it was a good plot scenario. Could be all expanded on, but
yeah.
We'll see what happens with Lost Galaxy and if they do any better with anything.
Yep. So, for all of our listeners, all of our fans, in 2 weeks, because we're going to do fanfic episode and another fanfic episode, and like we're doing one of those a week. 1 week fanfic, another week fanfic. So in 3 weeks, we're going to start Lost Galaxy. Y'all better be prepared. Y'all better take your notes. Y'all better have your opinion set and let us know, because we do have the Twitter account at Ranger Sisters Pod on Twitter. That's the official Twitter.
Also go to our AO Free Cat and Ranger Sisters Forever if you want to read our fanfics.
Yes.
Which we're slowly building up on those.
And also I still do have my Wattpad. I did put that in our bio, so you can find our names there. But let me tell you something. What we have written over the 13 years that we've written together, almost 13 years. Can you believe that already?
Really? That would just make you feel old, boy.
I was, 15? And you were, 14?
I don't know anymore. Age is irrelevant at this point.
Yeah, definitely. But we started out writing Power Rangers Lightning Force. And so some of the Ranger inspo outfits I had drawn came from In Space, believe it or not. That was the inspo. Power Rangers in Space was the inspo for the Power Rangers Lightning Force series that we had done.
Maybe you should put a note on that, so then at the end, once we actually do finish that fanfic, we could put like a fun fact sort of thing.
Oh, we definitely should. Or at least a whole chapter of kind of like if we did a Q&A, you know what I mean?
Yeah, speaking of which, if you guys have any questions for us, whether it's fanfic, Power Rangers, our own weird crazy Ranger selves, feel free to, you can comment on these podcasts. Comment on our Twitter, on our fanfics on AO Free. It may be just whatever, really.
Yeah.
Anything to say that at this point, give us notice that we have somebody listening and it's not just us talking to ourselves.
Yeah. And if worse comes to worse, I'll probably set up an Instagram account or something and just, or even a TikTok account with our pod name and just go crazy with that too. I'll probably post audio clips to it. You never know.
Yeah, see our weird bloopers and just so you know, this is our very only recording, so we do this on the fly.
Yeah.
We don't have any scripts. We're that from our notes.
Yeah. And we literally, we don't edit it. You get it as we do it. How you hear it is how we record it. We don't edit it. We don't edit the bloopers out. We keep the bloopers in.
Which is the reason why we kind of maybe talk over each other at times. But what's the fun of not talking on this thing? It's a podcast.
Yeah, we're supposed to laugh and crack jokes, and our podcast is we are a family-friendly space.
Because we may curse a little, but
yeah.
Well, that's about it. As much as if you want to go for any extreme beyond that, I don't know. Maybe our fanfics have more cursing in them than we do, but
we did have to remember. We did have to restrict that. Remember what happened when they changed up the guidelines and the freaking terms of Wattpad.
Yeah.
You and I had to go in. And edit all of that out. Anything had a curse word had to go.
So if any of you are fanfic writers, go to AO Free instead of Wattpad. We're moving our stuff to AO Free on our account because it's ad free. It's run by people that have a heart.
Yeah.
And it's basically a fanfic free for all in a sense. I mean, there's rules, sure, but like it's not strict and cruel and confusing like Wattpad is.
And we've been on Wattpad since our very early beginning. We've seen the good, we've seen the bad, and we've seen the downright ugly. When the bullying got so bad, Jess, remember what happened? Remember what I put?
Oh yeah.
I reported dozens of people for bullying her. I don't play when it comes to my little sister Jessie here. You fuck with her, you fuck with me. You better be praying to God, because I don't let nobody mess with my family.
And just so you know, if you have any questions on our Wattpad days, feel free to comment wherever.
And put
that, because we're comfortable talking about it as weird and long ago as it was.
And certain fact, there used to be 3 of us, and we'll if you have questions about that, we'll answer that. But that's still a touchy subject for us, because this individual, he knows who he is.
And while we appreciate the memories that we have with him, there's stuff that we may need to wait a while to talk about.
Yeah. Because it still makes me angry what he did.
At this point, I would want to get his side of the story at this point before we talked about it.
Honey, I've tried to find his socials. They're gone.
Yeah.
They don't exist.
Also, people, if you want to know how the two of us met, we can mention that on a fanfic podcast episode.
Yep.
I mean,
next week. That'll be next week's episode.
Yeah, along with our excerpts from our fanfics of the past and current.
Yes.
And then we got that. Then we'll do the Ranger OTPs and Bro TPs and OTPs.
Because definitely, I think 2 weeks of fanfic. If we want to go into a third week, we'll decide on it then. And we'll push back Lost Galaxy a week. I mean, that's fine, because think about it. A lot of people are home for the summer or they're traveling. You never know.
If you guys, or if anyone's listening, hi. Thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
So, and please comment on anywhere, because I don't know about Apple Podcasts, but there's no comment area.
No, there isn't. This is why I set up. This is why I set up the X account, aka formerly known as Twitter. That's why I set up this account. I still call it Twitter.
Same.
I still do. It's like, if y'all even have questions, like, well, I'll set up like some sort of social media account where y'all can more than welcome to comment, text us, let us know. We want to hear what you guys think.
Give us suggestions, constructive criticism.
Yeah.
What you like about us, what you don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is for the fans. This is for the fans, by the fans.
For better, for worse.
Exactly. For better or for worse.
Yeah, and you'll see that definitely with our writing. If you look before the fanfic podcast episodes, just know there's some very cringy old stuff that, trust me, I looked at my first fanfic ever that was Power Rangers. Oh my god, I don't know what my 11-year-old self was thinking of. A, writing this. B, pushing it.
Yeah.
And C, realizing, maybe there's a reason no one's commenting, because it's so bad.
I actually read mine the other day, and I'm like, this is so cringy. I literally was like, I ended up taking a shot in the kitchen, like a shot of alcohol in the kitchen. It was so cringy. I'm like, what was my 13-year-old self thinking? Because I had turned...
I was wondering, okay, do I have ADHD or something? Because my head was going in circles with that, because the pacing and where everything's happening and the time skips and everything, it was all out over the place.
Yeah.
I'm like, good God, what am I doing with this stuff? But, then you look at your other fics and you realize, well, it's not that.
Exactly.
So if you guys ever have any problems with your fanfics that you're writing currently, and you have older ones, read your older ones.
Yeah.
Because then you'll see, you could do so much worse.
And, I mean, I've done a lot of editing for other writers over the years. I've done a lot of editing. And let me tell you something. I actually enjoyed it. I like editing other people's fanfics and making them better. Because, at the end of the day, I like writing them, but when I get to when someone asks me to help edit their stuff, and I'm more than happy to, I use my business Gmail, and I'll even put that in the Apple description. And
Hey, if we could get, there's one thing that I never got, and I don't know if you've got, but if you guys have any fan art of us, of our fanfics, feel free to post that on our Twitter also, because let me tell you, I wished for so many years for fan art of my fanfics.
yes.
And believe me, I realize that my fanfics aren't the best, but, when you're 11, 12, 13, and so on, you kind of wish, and you're kind of disappointed, but you still wish.
Yeah.
And years later, still wish, but,
Yeah.
it's a cycle.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I would love to see what fan art y'all come up with, too, even for the podcast. Because...
If you have any questions, especially writing, we might not be able to tell. We can tell, if you're going to use AI, use it for grammar and spelling errors, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
That's all I do for AI, because I cannot do grammar and spelling for heck. That is still my number one worst thing.
That's why I have a dictionary. I keep a dictionary near me just in case if I need it. But with all the years, and sometimes worst comes to worst, I will, because with our podcast photo, that was an AI photo, believe it or not.
And just say no, I do not look like that. I'm strawberry blonde, not brown.
Send me a photo and I'll update it for next season.
Oh, no. I'm not going to put my face up.
No. Just text it to me, because I have a certain format of how I do it, so I can put in it's like a basic description of strawberry blonde, Caucasian, eye color, and see what it comes up with.
Caucasian.
Think about it.
Yeah, I can tell. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that'll be next season's freaking photo, because we're definitely gonna be updating the photo on the podcast. That is not a lie.
Yeah, and if you guys really do enjoy our work, please share.
Yeah.
Share, because I know we're not popular. I know we're not celebrities, but this is fun.
Yeah.
And we kind of want. I'd like some life just to know I'm not talking randomly.
I know a friend of mine, Andrew, listens to it as well. And so he usually lets me know when he listens to it, and I ask his opinion. And let me tell you this, shout out to him. He lets me, yeah, hi buddy. He will literally tell me what he thinks, and I love that he does that.
Please text me these opinions, because if you got, apparently, hello Bruce class, please tell her what you think of our podcast overall, and, episode by episode, because I would like to know, especially if am doing something wrong, or doing something good. I could use a criticism.
Yeah, definitely. Both of us definitely could. Because this is our kind of like our one release into the craziness that you guys allow us to head dive straight into something we love, and we get to talk about it with all of you. We get to talk to the world about this. And I'm very happy that we get to do this.
Freedom.
Well, anything else you want to add, Jezzy?
Let's see. Well, if you guys are any baseball fans out there, go Phillies.
Oh, yeah. Braves all the way, baby. Braves, 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 Braves.
Well, you get the idea, people. So that's about it for this podcast. I'm Jess.
And I'm Bree, and this has been the Ranger Sisters Rewatch Podcast.
Bye.
In space season, we are out. Lost Galaxy, 3 weeks, here we come.